So think about this for a second. The next time you're on a plane settling into your seat, ask yourself a question. Does the airline whose logo is painted on the tail actually own this multi-million-dollar jet you're sitting in? Well, chances are the answer is no.
Okay, let's get right into it, because this is one of the biggest and kind of hidden secrets of modern travel. Get this, more than half of the entire world's commercial airline fleet is not owned by the airlines themselves. They're leased. They're rented. You know, it's like the skies are filled with borrowed wings. And that, of course, leads to a huge question. I mean, an airline's whole business is flying planes. So why on earth would they choose not to own their most critical, their most expensive, their most fundamental asset? It just seems to go against all logic. But as we'll see, there's a really powerful financial reason for it.
To really understand this, we've got to look at it from the airline's point of view first. For them, leasing isn't just some option on the table, it's often a much, much smarter way to run their business.
Here's probably the easiest way to wrap your head around it. Buying a brand new airplane is a lot like buying a house. You need a massive amount of cash up front, it's a huge long-term commitment, and you're the one who has to worry if its value drops over time. Leasing, though, that's way more like renting a really nice apartment. You don't need that giant down payment, you've got more flexibility, and the landlord, in this case the leasing company, is the one who carries all the risk about the plane's long-term value. So this breaks down into some huge wins for the airlines. First off, no massive upfront cost means they have more cash on hand. It also gives them incredible flexibility. They can add or remove planes as demand changes. They can get their hands on newer, more fuel-efficient models way faster. And maybe the biggest one, they don't have to worry about what that plane is going to be worth in 20 years. It's all about being nimble and financially smart. So it's a fantastic deal for the airlines. But a deal like this is a two-way street, right? It only works if it's also a great deal for the companies on the other side of the table, the leasers. So let's take a look at how they've built this incredibly profitable business.
For these leasing companies, this is a financial powerhouse. They get a steady, reliable stream of rental payments from airlines all over the globe. They own the actual plane, which is a super valuable asset that can even go up in value. On top of that, they get big tax benefits. And by leasing planes to dozens of different airlines, they spread their risk out. It's a remarkably stable and profitable business model. But here's the thing, this isn't just some clever financial strategy happening in a bubble. Right now, today, leasing has become absolutely essential because of a massive, unprecedented squeeze happening in the global aircraft market.
Just look at this number, over 15,000. Let that sink in for a second. That's the combined number of airplanes that Airbus and Boeing have orders for but haven't actually built yet. It is an absolutely mind-boggling backlog. And we're not talking about a little delay here. This bottleneck means that if an airline decides it wants to buy a new plane today, they could be waiting for years, sometimes many, many years, before it's delivered. And that's a total disaster if you're an airline trying to grow or just modernize your fleet.
So, when you can't buy new planes, what do? Well, you scrambled to lease the ones that are already out there. And all that demand has sent the rental prices for popular mid-life jets like the 737 and A320 through the roof. We're talking up 20 to 25% in just the last couple of years. The supply squeeze is real, and it's making the leasing market hotter than ever.
All of this together has fueled a colossal industry. Right now, the global aircraft leasing market is estimated to be worth around $200 billion. So this isn't some niche corner of aviation anymore. It's become a central pillar of how the entire system works. But, of course, it's not a perfect solution. Nothing ever is. For the airlines, there's always a catch, always some fine print, and some pretty serious trade-offs to think about when they lease.
And you can really see the trade-offs clearly here. On the plus side, airlines get that financial flexibility, they get access to new tech, and they don't have to worry about the plane's future value. But the downsides are very real. Over the long haul, leasing is almost always more expensive than buying. Airlines can face super strict rules about how much they can fly the plane, and at the end of the contract, the process of returning the plane is notoriously complicated and can lead to massive fees.
So, when you put all these pieces together, the financial benefits, this manufacturing crunch, what does it all mean for the future? Well, what we're seeing is a fundamental shift, a new normal that's taking hold in the skies.
And if there's one thing to really take away from all this, it's this. Leasing isn't just a clever financial tool anymore. It is quickly becoming the dominant model for how nearly every airline in the world manages its fleet of planes. And you can see exactly where this is headed. Projections show that by 2030, nearly 60% of the entire global fleet is going to be leased. This trend isn't just continuing, it's actually picking up speed and reshaping the very bones of the aviation industry.
Which leaves us with one last really fascinating question to think about. As this huge global shift from owning to renting keeps going, and as those manufacturing backlogs force fleets to get older and older, who is really in the pilot seat of the aviation industry? Is it the airlines we all know, or is it the powerful behind-the-scenes leasing companies who truly own the wings,